By now, you've probably heard the news and seen the upsetting video we posted about the Holy Thursday massacre that took place here in Florida recently. It's a story that has hit the reptile community particularly hard around the world. Today, we're spending some time with Bill McAdam, the owner of Big Cheryl, the boa constrictor that was mistakenly killed by FWC officers, to hear his thoughts and feelings on the situation. This is an episode you won't want to miss.
We sincerely thank all of you happy campers out there. Your support makes a real difference in our efforts here at Kamp Kenan. This week's special shout out goes to Deb Zocker. Thank you for all you do and for loving reptiles.
So here we are, we're hanging out here at Hercules Herps with Bill McAdams, and you might have heard of Bill's name recently in the last few months, in the last few weeks, because Big Cheryl was your animal that was killed by FWC officers in this facility. We're actually
you just brought up a name, you gave me chills.
I'm sorry about that, man. And so, what's kind of funny is they say, obviously, you're breeding these animals, but these are your pets. It doesn't matter that you sell the babies.
Well,
these are pets.
We're also breeding for people to have as pets.
Right, exactly.
So like even with the retics and the berms, I mean, I used to work with those guys, those babies. I used to go and clean their cages, they were little bins, and change their water. And I would take my licks, they bite you all the time. I mean, they hardly ever rap on you. But, it took 6 months, 8 months before they start getting used to you coming into the cage, taking them out, cleaning their cage, back and forth. And before you know it, you've bonded with this animal. Yeah, they learn to trust you.
Absolutely.
Because they know it's not a threatening situation.
Yeah, now, so you said this is a red dragon.
Well, this is
mom.
This is Inca.
Okay.
She's het for albino, and she was bred to red dragon, which a red dragon is an albino blood.
Okay, cool.
So this will be there'll be a double recessive, but the babies will be all het.
And why boas? Why boas? So many guys do ball pythons. What is it about boa constrictors?
I don't know, man. When I was a kid, I got into the boa constrictors when I was 15, 16 years old. I got into boas. And then later on in life, after I, got married and so forth, I got interested. My son got me interested in the ball pythons.
No doubt.
And then I said, I just can't do it. It's just, I grew up with the boa constrictors, and I like the boa constrictors. I really like the live birth. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And
that's what it was.
And it's not as easy as ball python.
You like a little bit of a challenge.
I do.
Which
is heartbreaking sometimes.
Heartbreaking. The fact that you had Big Cheryl for how long now?
11 years.
11 years.
11 years. I raised her up as a baby. I bought her and another one. I bought the sister, and in the meantime, I was trying to make red dragons. And obviously, when you didn't have them, you kept breeding in order
together.
Yeah, trying to breed the end results. Finally, had the end results. The males were big enough to breed. And she was a month away from laying her babies.
Yeah. She had, how many babies was it?
She had I think the necropsy said 32, and 14 I think were going to be red dragons.
That's incredible.
And the rest would probably be red blood reds that were het for red dragons.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, and so just beautiful. I mean, I love these tubs that you could see in there. And
ARS did a good job on it.
Oh, look, she's going to go ahead and she's looking like she wants a feed.
But she's not feeding. She's protected. She just dropped a wax stool. She's going to be ready to drop. She's due about the 5th, so she's going to be dropping any day now.
Very cool.
Probably when it rains.
Yeah, and they can feel that barometric pressure change once the wet season comes back. What was cool is I was in Costa Rica in 2017. We're walking around the jungle on a tour, and what do we see but like a 7-foot female boa.
Yeah.
And I actually had, I don't know if Tom's going to dig up the footage, but we have it on film, where she was trying to get into a tree trunk, and I just held her. And eventually she got tired, and I was able to bring her out. But man, it's awesome seeing them like this. It's awesome seeing them in the wild too. It's like one of those things, a dream. So youve got many different varieties.
I bred this girl too. This is a hypo IMG jungle.
Okay, let's see.
She was het for sun dragon, but she didn't take. So she's
holy. That is incredible, man. The iridescence on that animal is ridiculous.
She didn't take this year, so we'll try again next year.
No, but that's gorgeous. So are these boa constrictor imperator, or are these boa constrictor constrictor?
They're the BCIs.
The BCIs.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, they've been crossbred so much.
Gotcha.
I mean,
They're their own thing.
Who really knows who? But these are probably going to be as big as they're going to get.
Holy smokes, though, which is perfect.
Yeah.
To have as a pet snake.
Yeah.
But even still, just the coloration, that's beautiful. And do you see how eyes pop? That's really neat.
She's got some orange eyes.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
And we named her Pumpkin.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Because
I do love
because
boas
of her
myself.
eyes.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then I've been. This is the first year I'm trying actually Bolivians.
Okay.
The male I just fed. It took her off.
That's a pretty snake.
And
so with these, are you going for just the pattern, right?
well, this is going to be pure silverbacks.
Okay.
They'll be Bolivian silverbacks. I have 2 pairs from 2 different bloodlines, so I'm flip flopping the bloodlines. So this way we don't have the same bloodlines.
Man, that's cool. What do you think, Matt? This is Matt's first time seeing boa constrictor morphs and actually snake morphs. We haven't done much of it since Matt's been working with us, so it's really cool the possibilities and the colors that you can get. But more important than that, what some people need to understand if you are new to reptiles, let's see, as I talk, you can keep on wowing me.
Well, I don't know how you're going to get her. I just posted this one up just last night, but the pinks on her are really nice, but they don't show up.
She's under the...
Yeah, but we could peek in her. She's a snapper.
Okay. Holy smokes. Wow.
But this is the one we actually produced. I believe Big Cheryl was the mother of this one.
Really?
Yeah. I bred an Arabesque blood het albino to Big Cheryl, and this is one of her siblings.
Now, how long have you been keeping reptiles here in Broward County?
I've been doing it for about 12 years.
12 years. Yeah. And you never had any issues with FWC, right?
No, none.
There's never been any problems?
None. Nothing with shipping or anything. I mean,
in fact, I heard on the latest video they had seen your packages come in. They were always properly wrapped. They were always properly packaged.
Well, so, I didn't want any issues with anybody. We want to try to do whatever the rules were. We follow the rules.
Exactly.
But with FWC, if they don't like something, they bend the rules in order. Well, they don't bend the rules. They just bend the conditions and change the rules as they go along, and they don't let anybody know. It was like they're looking for you to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
It's easy to make a mistake if you don't know the rules.
And so they were here under the pretense that there was a loose retic somewhere.
Well, they had found one. I think they've already put it down. I don't know if it was that day or the day before, but the way I understood it from Chris had told me that they were coming out here to look to make sure it wasn't one of ours.
Gotcha.
And they were all here.
Right. So everything was present and
and that was another thing. I told Chris, you're welcome to keep the animals here because it was a concrete building. I mean, that's one of the things that they wanted. They want everything on a concrete, double locked.
Safe. If there was a storm, it's a bunker.
There's nothing going to happen. It's a warehouse,
Yeah. So, I mean, that's incredible, man. So,
well, this one here is a El Diablo, which is a blood central T positive albino.
All right.
And
oh my God.
She just gave us 10 babies. She was the first one to drop this year.
Incredible. These are all boa constrictor imperators. So these genes.
This will be a central.
That's a Central American.
Yeah, it's a Central American.
Okay.
This one here.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so that's a blood central T positive, which is a caramel albino.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. And what's frustrating is, guys come over here to. I still feel like after 14 months, those snakes here, they didn't necessarily it's almost like they were like, hey, you know what? We better just go kill those things. Just to be safe or something,
Well, I think it's, they keep saying that they kept saying that they didn't want to be here, and I told them, and then don't come.
Really?
And well, the orders from Tallahassee, and I'm thinking, they tell you to jump off a 10-story building.
You got to do it. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't do it. I mean,
one of the things
if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Isn't it also like they say, if you're a soldier and you're given an order that is,
unconstitutional,
you're supposed to not do it. You're okay.
You shouldn't.
So it's weird because private property. Animals under lock and key, but what really hurts more than the retics is that you doing a favor for someone else. Now your income, your pet, and your rights have been trampled on. That's the only way to describe it.
Pretty much. I wasn't here at the time. I was just getting. I got the phone call from Chris about 1 o'clock or so. He said that they were coming.
Yeah.
And I said, well, make sure you show up. Because, they can come and arrest you. I mean, that's the predicament he was in. I mean, because they did seize the animals, 14 months before
earlier,
So theoretically, they're theirs. But why didn't they take care of it? Why didn't they come and feed them? Why didn't they come and water them?
Right. That's
why,
really
why
weird.
did I have to pay for all that?
It's almost like insult to injury. It's
It
like,
is.
hey, we're taking your animals. You're going to pay for them. You're going to feed them. And we're going to come and kill them at the end of it. So you have 14 more months where he could have found homes for those
Well, we
animals.
had homes for them, but they just said they were theirs, and we couldn't do anything with it. He was told not to move the animals.
See, and that's just ridiculous.
And if he moved them or euthanized them, he would go to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, so what alternative did he have?
He didn't have any, and that's the thing. Like the press release that they put out was, oh, he surrendered. Is it? No, they were forcefully seized because he didn't want to go to jail.
Right.
And then, what options did he have? Like you said, he couldn't do anything with those animals. He couldn't rehome them or give them to a licensed breeder or whatever out of state. So it's just a waste all around, in my opinion.
Pretty much. The whole thing could have been avoided if you just give us an opportunity to rehome them.
I had done a video a week or two ago, and it's like, again, the one thing that you have to remember is all these people, they're just people. They're just in uniform. I learned a long time ago, because I actually have family in law enforcement, just because you are a police officer doesn't make you bad, doesn't make you good either. And I think we hold these people to a higher standard sometimes, but in fact, they're just people. And, I don't understand why they couldn't act like human beings and do the humane thing for these animals and allow, you guys to place them in another home. It just doesn't make sense. It's like they have a real war against these particular animals. And what scares me, Bill, is right now, boa constrictors are legal.
So far.
But coming down the pipe, one day, all these animals that you've had for years and years legally are potentially made illegal. That's what I'm scared about my monitor lizards.
Well, the thing is that these guys are supposed to be the professionals.
Right.
They're supposed to be fish and wildlife, okay? Well, first of all, this isn't wildlife.
No, these are domestic animals.
Domestic animals. But on top of it, I mean, they're coming in here imposing rules on us that they don't follow themselves.
Right.
I mean, if you seized the animals 14 months ago, I mean, you should have been here at least once a month to check to see if those animals being fed, being clean, and being watered. I mean, why are we're held to the standard, but they're not held to the same standard?
You could have stopped feeding those animals. Those animals could
And then
have been
and then what?
then they would have arrested you.
Probably
exactly.
for neglecting
It's
them.
crazy.
They should be the ones that neglect because they didn't come by for 14 months.
14 months. Yeah, so bizarre. So I hope you are going to fight this, because a lot of people out there.
Well, we're working on it. I mean,
Okay.
I've got a lot of talks with a lot of different counsel, and we just haven't come down to which one we're going to go with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a crap situation all around. I mean, I still want to see. It's my first time being here, so I'm trying to talk about this shitty situation, but also show you just how involved Bill is in the reptile world and how passionate it is, because it's really about people seeing, this is not a fly-by-night operation. This was not a facility that was in any danger of neglect or animals escaping. To get here, you're in, you're in an industrial area. It's a concrete building, as you mentioned, double locked doors. They're gorgeous racks. How many animals do you have here?
With the babies, probably close to 400 or 500.
400 or 500, yeah. And clearly immaculate.
I've got another room that has babies in it, and we have. I keep my male breeders in there, and I also have some clubers in another room.
Can we see some of the babies?
Sure.
Man? Cool.
Sure. You want to see some Argentines first?
I'll see. Oh, you have Argentinian boas. Yeah. I love those too. There's another gorgeous. Oh my God.
So this is a motley Argentine, and which is 100% pure Argentine, and she's 100% het for Argentine T positive.
Wow, that's gorgeous. Now these guys, being in Argentina, they go further south, right? Their range.
Yes.
Can they take cooler temperatures or?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're just as delicate as the BCCs, the BCIs.
Okay. That's a beautiful snake, man. Again, what would be the full size on one of those? 8?
Probably about 8 feet.
Okay.
I've had some that passed away, probably about 8 feet.
Wow, that's beautiful.
This is a little on the high side, but this is the T positive Argentine.
No way.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. That's so cool.
She's got a nice meal in her.
Okay, awesome. Oh, yeah, she does. Good girl. Wow, that's beautiful, mate. So cool. Wild. It's crazy, right? There's a lot
And
of
this
different flavors.
is what a sun dragon looks like. This is hypo albino and blood.
Wow. So to get, you know, how
So that's a double recessive.
how many years to get this variety, did you say? 12 years?
I've been working on it since what? 2010. So
Yeah.
you know, 12, 13 years.
That's so cool. Wow. That's a lot of
But
time.
you know, you start with double het recessives, and then you work your way up, and you know, all that takes time. I mean,
Yeah.
there's projects I got. I'll probably be 70 years old by the time I reach my goal. You know.
Yeah, but it's, that's the other thing that people neglect to understand is like, dude, I'm living my dream, man. Like I have a backyard with the animals I love. I'm doing educational videos about these animals. You get to work with snakes. So many people think we're weirdos or strange, but dude, what a nice thing to be able to do. And I just don't understand how you can do something like this so well, and then one day you're a criminal. You know what I mean? With one stroke of the pen, with one legislative, flick of the wrist.
Well, the thing is, I think they don't understand.
Right.
I don't think they understand what we do. I mean, they understand wildlife, and that's all well and good. But this is, like you said, you know, not every dog's a wolf, but every dog came from a wolf.
That's
right.
right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Smart. That's a true statement. So this is the baby room.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
So this is the one that the El Diablo.
Okay, yeah.
That's an El Diablo.
is
It's a baby El Diablo. So.
That is gorgeous.
And I was in here yesterday cleaning. So.
Yeah. How often? I mean, you're here every day?
Well, when I have females that are gravid, I'm here every day.
Wow.
I come in every day just to get the thing of water.
Sure. So every day, how long does it take you to clean? Do you
Clean?
do it by sections?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I'll come in here. I'll clean this room, or I'll just do the babies one day.
Okay.
You know, I come in a couple hours at night because I do have a full-time job. So I'll come, maybe do all the babies one night for a few hours, and then the next night I'll come and I'll do the adults.
And I assume that this is a decompression place, right? You got your day job.
It's a sanctuary. I mean, it's kind of, it's almost like the gym for me. The gym's a little more stress relief. This is kind of more of relaxation.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering if you hit the gym a little bit, dude. You kind of look like you might be doing that.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed after here.
I hear you. Oh, no doubt.
So that's blood. That's het for the El Diablo. So it's got
that's cool.
So the only thing that one's really missing is the visual albino, caramel albino.
Yeah, and you could also see more of its actual pattern on this one, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's really neat. I like that. I like the contrast of that one. That's really amazing.
Look at that.
Isn't that cool? Now, Chris obviously has been just distraught.
He has. He was. It was like when everything was going on, it was just like go, 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 and then one day he just like fell off the map. I mean, I didn't. You know, I talked to him every day.
Yeah.
And he went MIA for like 3-4 days. And I text his daughter. I says, "Is he okay?" She says, "I've never seen him like this. He's been in bed and he just don't get out of bed."
I mean, I asked you guys the last time we did a video about this. Can you imagine someone coming into your home, essentially, or place of business, or whatever, taking your animals out and making you hold them down? That just seems very cruel.
It is.
You know,
It is.
If they don't see, that's the other portion of the problem I see with these officers is that, number one, they couldn't identify the animals.
They don't know what any.
I know that. No, I know that. They're
They don't know the
clueless.
difference between a Burman and
They're
a retake.
completely clueless, which tells me they really shouldn't have any authority over it. They can't possibly. They don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And then secondly, if you can't get the job done with your staff, it's like the police asking, you know, a citizen, "Can you help me arrest this dude?" You know, like, how do you do that? Like, it's just cruel. Now, just to hold your animals down while they euthanize them, it's just bizarre.
I was
It's
like
just
shocked
bizarre.
that they even asked.
That's what I mean.
It's like it's insane.
Yes, I agree.
You know, and then he actually did it, which.
But I think, listen, it's one of those situations.
I guess he was there and didn't. He really just wanted to get it over with because he was so afraid to go to jail.
Yep.
Because they kept threatening him, and it was just like,
what do you do?
I just want to get rid of him. I just want him out of here.
Yeah.
And every time when he the 14 months when he was battling in court back and forth, so everything got expunged, but it cost him a lot of money, and then that's what I think their intent was.
Yeah, it was to bleed him dry.
Yeah, and we see that a lot in politics. You know, they try to bleed you dry till you can't.
Don't want to fight. You lose the will. You lose the will to fight.
He was already there, but I'm telling you, man, this whole thing could have been avoided if they just let us rehome them, or even them rehoming them. I mean, they could have rehomed them. They didn't have any place. They had nothing better to do but to kill 35 snakes that day.
They're idiots, because they could have sold it and made money for their own organization.
Well, they did. That's one of the reasons why Chris had said to them, I'd rather you euthanize them here, not knowing that he would put a bolt gun to their heads, but I'd rather euthanize them here than to try to let you guys have them and make profit off of them.
Gotcha. It's horrible, man. So, what a horrible thing.
Well, this is something that we made.
All right.
Well, I made.
Wow. Holy. What do you call that?
That's a blood IMG, and it's het for VPI albino.
Now, what's VPI?
VPI is another form of caramel albino.
Okay. That's a pretty face on that one, man.
And this is with this one's with this is the VPI version without the IMG in it.
Holy smokes!
What does VPI and IMG mean?
IMG is an increased melamine gene. It makes the snake darker, and VPI is a form of albinoism, which is a caramel albino.
Man, that's crazy. I'm really partial to the darker, richer flavors. I like the richer colors because it's easier. Just
can't see the other one.
Well, I'm a little colorblind, but I love the contrast with the dark ones. That's cool too.
So now that's IMG. What? That's IMG blood with the VPI, and that's the actual. That's a visual of this one here with IMG in it.
Okay. That's great.
I don't know if you guys can catch on to that.
It is such a science project, dude.
Dude, I was the worst in science as a kid.
Okay.
But if you'd have thrown this to me back in the day,
you would have paid more attention.
I would have paid. Genetics is such.
See, so check this out. This is education, guys. There's so many young people or old people like us. When you don't realize how much more biology you wind up learning, how much more, because you find out, where do these things come from the wild? Okay, what other animals are in their habitat? What are they feeding on? What do those animals eat? You learn about the plants. What plants do they like to hide in? You wind up becoming a well-rounded biologist, and you just said, this is genetics, man. This is exactly when you said something about, the wolf. The dog was the first tampering with humans tampering with genetics. Absolutely. We knew that this dog had this trait and this one had that, and we put it together, and that's what you're doing. That's why these are not wild animals. They wouldn't survive in the wild.
Most of them would.
These would be plucked off very, very quickly. And if you left dogs to their own devices, what happens? They become wolves again. So these animals are manipulated by Bill.
They're
morphed to be a domestic version of their wild forebears. So this is just an incredible. It would be a shame for us to lose this reference, this ability to learn about genetics for a layperson.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
It is.
Man,
it is.
It's incredible.
These I made. These took me almost 7 years to make.
Each one is more. These are all boa constrictor.
So this is a leopard, type 2 AnnMarie visual.
When you say visual, it's because you can see the pattern.
Both genes
traits.
have both traits. Yeah. They're both recessive traits. So you got the recessive trait of the.
He's coming for you.
He's going to get you a nice little lick. It's got the leopard gene, and also has the AnnMarie gene, which is the dark gene.
He looks like he's about to go for
the camera. Yeah, he's zeroing in. He's zeroing in, but we don't want him to hurt his little face. That's so cool, man. And all these you sell at reptile shows?
I do. I haven't done a Florida show in a while. So I do sell them online. I'm a morph market.
Okay, cool.
But a lot of stuff it's just taking time to take pictures and put them up too.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of work, man.
This one here's got some pretty cool looking eyes. I think it's this one here. Nope, this one up top.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Oh yes.
She's a little snappy too.
Oh, yeah, what's with the eyes?
They're
like glowingly white. Yeah. Thought it was different, so this is one that I held back, and I figured I'd keep this one just because I seemed something different. And
man, I'd love to set up a really beautiful vivarium with where you can see this animal. That's what this is too. And it's cool. You're actually able to get right in there on them.
Yeah, they know me.
That's so awesome.
But she'll still bite me.
Yeah. Look at that.
You can tell she's
that's a whole different experience.
Isn't that beautiful? Right on, man.
Look at the pinks in her belly.
Yeah, that is something.
She's very tense. You can feel it.
Oh yeah, so she's a little nervous.
She's not used to this thing pointing at her.
Yeah, she's used to it. She just doesn't like it.
She likes her little hide.
I've taken pictures of her before.
Yeah, I would too. She's beautiful.
For sure.
Wild, man. So babies, and you said, what's on this side?
These are, I would say, most of these are all my breeder males.
Okay.
Or bringing up to be breeders. Here's another Argentine that's Max Pink.
Whoa.
It's another bloodline.
And that's an adult, or that's a reproductive male?
No, this is a female that I'm growing up.
Okay.
I'm growing this one up. This is, I think, one of the only females.
I just like the Argentine boas.
I mean, what a
flecked and there's a
the
lot of
pattern
stippling.
is so complex.
Yeah.
I was doing really good with the Argentines. I lost my breeder female 2 years ago. So now I've got like 3 girls that are growing up, and it'll be. I mean, now I'm on a waiting list.
No way. That's
well,
cool,
it's a waiting list to grow them up.
Oh, I see.
You got to be 5 years old before I start breeding them.
It's just massive, man.
And then we got. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff here. I got.
Man, I was hoping you grabbed that. I want to see what a flamingo. Oh my God!
Whoa.
No way.
That is.
Is that the same we saw earlier, right?
That's an IMG, but it's got a flamingo
camera.
pastel in it.
That iridescence is gorgeous, man. Let me ask you, if
I bred him to a female sunglow, so that she's grabbing.
Wow. What would a juvenile of this cost? Roundabout, I'm just curious. Because
that $1,500 to $2,000.
Really? Because that is a snake that I would love to set up. I love boas. I think that would be a beautiful animal to set up.
It's probably the best selling IMG's
Really?
increased melamine gene.
Okay.
Is probably the best selling.
With my monitors, I have a black dragon.
Do you?
And
I like them too.
Yeah, I just love the dark. It's just striking to me. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's because I like ninjas growing up. I have no idea, dude. But I love just like, it just seems like, very. I don't want to use this word. I was gonna say evil, but evil not in a bad way. And again, like that thing is like sick. Like my truck's all black. It's murdered out. Yeah, the lizard's murdered out. You know what I mean? Like just badass, dude. That is so cool.
This is a Moonglow Motley, which is hypoalbino with AnnMarie in it.
There's something to be said about that too. I don't understand. Like I'm all excited about this. It's so funny, the different.
I'm glad the cages aren't too dirty.
No, listen, this is great. Our viewers,
oh
man.
My God, I got to clean again.
No. Our viewers are real reptile people. They understand. As soon as you clean it, they poop. Yeah. We're not. There's no odor in this place. It's immaculate, Bill. So
I know this really is a very clean facility.
This is like I've been to actual venom labs. I have friends that do venom labs and stuff with hots. This is on part of that. It's really incredible, dude. I mean, hats off to you. How could you walk in here as an FWC person and not be like, wow, like this is just a top-notch facility. These are the people we want doing this hobby, and being ambassadors of our passion.
Here's a Guyinca, which is a Guyana.
Okay.
Mixed with an Inca. Where are you hiding?
Oh, wow.
And that's basically full grown right there.
What I love also about what you're doing here with these, they retain a lot of their natural pattern, but with the striking colors that actually bring out some of that look, that natural look, if I'm making any sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're really, really sharp.
But I'm kind of like trying to determine what to breed him to next year.
Okay.
You try to picture in your mind what the mix is going to be good with that.
Really?
And
so there's a bit of creativity to all this.
There is, and you know, if you've done it before, you kind of like you just kind of imagine. It's almost like putting a painting together.
Right.
You know, you see the visual painting before it happens, and you put this one with this paint with this paint and this design with this design, and then you come up with a
nature's the palette. Though.
Yeah, like these here that I was really excited about producing because of the colors. It's a pastel dream, and I really like the pastel dream because it was just a real pinky color.
Okay.
And
yeah, there you go.
so this was a little bit more on the orange side, but I've got these are all siblings. So this has got jungle in it and arabesque.
Wow.
Pattern.
And I got this one.
No way. Just incredible, man.
So the pastel dream is really brings out those pinks and the colors of the albinos, sunglows.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
So these guys are going to be ready to breed this coming season, and just got to pair them up. Just going to figure out what to put them to.
Well, you know, the thing that I've learned today, besides about all your interest in these morphs, is just how much passion you have, how much invested you have, how much care you put into this place.
It's 12, 13 years of
hard work.
Accumulation of, you know, just learning. I mean, every year, it's just trial and error. You know, a lot of trial and error, asking questions. I love when I go to the shows and the kids ask me questions. It's so amazing, especially the ones that know genetics. I mean, it really blows your mind.
And so there's an argument to be made that everything that we do here with reptiles is a way of getting young people interested in science. The hands-on, that's how it got for me, is that I could be hands-on with these animals, that I could learn and keep them as pets and have a greater appreciation for all of these animals. And so that's what makes, you know, today's video, I really wanted to do something a little bit different than just talk to you about, you know, what happened to you with Fish and Wildlife. I think people know that story. I wanted them to know a little bit more about you and why it's such an affront, why it's such a, you know, a stain on that, you know, that the FWC, what they did to you. I really hope that you fight it. I know everyone else there hopes that you fight it. If you want to support, go check them out. If you look at it, I mean, we've seen some beautiful animals. If you want to help them fight FWC and you're interested in an animal, look at, you know, where can they go if they wanted to purchase an animal from you?
They can look on Morph Market, or they can either email me or text me online. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Hercules Herps.
Hercules Herps. And then the other thing I would say, he wasn't here. He's just exhausted from all the press and stuff. Chris Coffey, if you want to help Chris out, go to his GoFundMe. We'll have it listed below in the description. It's important to help him out because he was really set back. And this is a guy that, you know, you're not millionaires breeding these snakes, you know. And what happened to him was just a disaster. So please, if you feel so inclined, head on over to that and check it out. Bill, thank you for your time, man.
Hey, man,
and I'm sorry, I appreciate being here. We've seen each other before at different shows, and it was nice to see your operation because it is top notch. It was really, really cool to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys all again real soon. Take care.